All right, guys, so here we go again. We have these woke sports leagues sticking their noses into politics, okay? And I don't know when these leagues are going to finally learn that they need to stay out of politics. It's almost like I'm reliving 2017, right? Because my state suffered heavily, right? From an economic standpoint, when the NBA decided to pull out the All-Star game from the state due to the transgender bathroom bill. That was a big deal because I was living in Charlotte at the time, and Charlotte spent a whole lot of money on infrastructure to host that All-Star game, okay? Charlotte has really built up uptown to try to attract more sporting events and events like the NBA All-Star game to the city, okay? And I don't like when my city or my state loses money, right? Because that costs jobs, right? And the MLBPA, which is the Players Association for Major League Baseball, is open to discussing moving the 2021 MLB All-Star game from Atlanta after new voting laws passed in the state, okay? They're referencing the voter integrity bill that was signed by Governor Brian Kemp that all those on the left accuse of being the new Jim Crow form of racism in voting. Now, guys, I already did a video on this topic, and you feel free to watch that video. I personally don't see where it is keeping black people from voting if they really want to vote. Right? The only thing I see is that, okay, you just got to get an ID. Play the game and vote. Okay? That's just how it goes. If you feel that voting is that important, right? Which I certainly understand anybody who does. But all you have to do is play the game, right? Nobody's stopping you from voting, right? But apparently, some people think this is Jim Crow racism. So let's discuss what the MLB plans to do here. So Major League Baseball is scheduled to play its 2021 All-Star game this summer at Truist Park, located in Atlanta, Georgia. Yet, with less than a week to go until opening day, the MLB Players Association appears open to discussing whether or not the event should be relocated in response to recent legislative developments in the state. MLB Players Association Director Tony Clark told the Boston Globe that the union body is, quote, very much aware of the bill signed by Georgia Governor Brian Kemp on Thursday that overhauled the state's election laws. The bill includes new restrictions on voting by mail and gives the legislature greater control over how elections are run, according to CBS News. It has been opposed by both Democrats and voting rights groups who believe the law would disproportionately disenfranchise voters of color. Clark told the Globe that, quote, we have not had a conversation with the league on that issue, before adding that, quote, if there is an opportunity to, we would look forward to having that conversation. Should the MLB relocate the event, it would mimic how the National Basketball Association moved its own All-Star game from Charlotte, North Carolina in 2017. The NBA did so in response to laws that discriminated against the LGBTQA plus community. At the time, the NBA issued a statement that said, amongst other things, quote, while we recognize that the NBA cannot choose the law in every city, state, and country in which we do business, we do not believe we can successfully host our All-Star festivities in Charlotte in the climate created by HB2. If the All-Star game is modified, it will mark the second consecutive to be offered. Last summer, Midsummer Classic was canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The Los Angeles Dodgers, who were supposed to host, were instead awarded the 2022 game. MLB's All-Star game is scheduled to be played on July 13th. All right. So my thoughts on this. This is going to be quick. It ain't going to be no long video. I think this is ridiculous, right? And quite honestly, you're achieving the opposite effect of what you're trying to do. Because if you're telling me that this bill discriminates against black voters, right, and it hurts black people, how does pulling out the All-Star game supposed to fix that issue? How is it supposed to fix that issue? It doesn't. It doesn't fix it at all. Matter of fact, what it actually does is it hurts black people, right? You know why it hurts black people? because Atlanta, which is a majority black city, right, that's doing very good economically, would benefit from having that All-Star game there. Okay? When you have an All-Star game in a city, that brings a lot of tourists, that brings a lot of customers, or at least put it this way, historically, because we don't know exactly how this stuff is going to go while, this pandemic stuff is still going on. But apparently, from what I've seen on the internet, Atlanta is pretty open, right? So the city ain't necessarily shut down, right? So you're going to be bringing fans to the city that are going to be eating and shopping and buying things from black-owned businesses, from black people, okay, who are going to benefit economically from this. So you're going to hurt black people economically in order to make a statement about black people being hurt from a voting bill that does not stop any black person from voting if they want to vote? Come on now. Tell me, how does this make sense? How does this actually solve the problem? This is what I try to tell you guys. When I rant against money in politics, guys, it's not just about our politicians being bought and sold. It also extends to the corporate influence on politics as a whole, guys. This is a corporation trying to use money to influence politics. Okay? That's why I rant against money in politics, guys. Okay? This stuff shows up on so many levels. It negatively affects everybody, especially conservatives right now. And the reason why is because the money is aligned politically with the left. When money becomes political, right, that spells danger for those who are not politically aligned with the money. Right now, the conservative movement is not politically aligned with corporate America. Corporate America has moved left. So if you have money in politics, that money is going to influence these politicians to move left. Okay? It's really that simple, guys. And this is why I try to tell people about how, I think that in and of itself is the biggest issue that we have. It's the same reason why Chrissy Noam folded on the bill that's supposed to protect women in sports. She folded because of money. That's why she folded. Money runs the world. Money runs our country. I don't have a problem with that because I am a hardcore capitalist, right? But money should not run our politics, okay? There's a difference, right? And conservatives are going to suffer the most from the influence of money in our politics. And it blows my mind that more conservative pundits are not talking about this, because we can sit and rant all day about what we want, but we're not going to get what we want as long as the money is political. If the money has moved left politically, then that means that the policy is going to move left eventually, right? And if the MLB does this, that is going to create a domino effect in which more businesses may pull out and say, listen, we're not doing business with Georgia anymore because of this bill, right? And as much influence as Trump has, I'm not sure if he has more influence than the money, right? I'm not sure if he has more influence than the money, okay? So there's only so far this type of stuff can go. And that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. So, some people may say, the MLB has the right to do business with whoever they want to do business with and make whatever statements they want to make. Hey, I 100% agree with that. If that's what they want to do, that's fine. But it's not good for the average person, right? Because as you can see, the MLB pulling out of this, right, like I've explained to you guys, is going to hurt those business owners economically. And again, it's not just going to be black people. I just use that as an example of how stupid it is in terms of them trying to, obviously stand up for black people voting, but at the same time, you're hurting black people economically by pulling out. But also anybody that happens to be a white business owner or Asian business owner or whoever, any business owner in Atlanta, anybody who could economically benefit from the MLB having an All-Star game there is going to suffer. And again, if the MLB decides to do this, that's going to open the door for more companies to make these type of statements. So, again, this right here, obviously from the MLB, I think is something silly that they're doing. Right? I obviously don't agree with it. Okay. But like I said, it's just another example of how, these big companies are gaining more control and more power in reference to our politics, and it is not helping conservatives at all. So, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.